traders, very warm welcome to all of you. It's Friday afternoon, 2nd of February, just before the weekend. And here's the story. I'm sitting here, in my room, chilling, enjoying being happy, enjoying the end of the week, and happy that my watch list is ready, having some chat with fellow traders in a Discord channel that I'm a member of, and then one gentleman asks me in a private message whether I will or not record the Premier League video, and so you can thank him really that this video will be published, because otherwise I would have just forgotten. We had Premier League games in the middle of the week, and I was saying in that video that obviously there is a new set of games in the weekend, and I was so fixated that I have my watch list ready that I completely forgot that Premier League games are still to be reviewed. And so here we are. So thank you, the mysterious gentleman on the Discord channel. Anyway, you can see my spreadsheet. I have updated the colors slightly. I mean, for me now, Liverpool, Manchester City are both category 1. From what you can see, I can even show you. I had no category 1 in the last weeks, but now I do have. So I have Liverpool number 1 and Manchester City number 1, and then Tottenham, Arsenal as number 2, Aston Villa number 3, and so on. You can pause the video if you like and check this. And here we are. So let's have a look at the odds and let's see whether there is something crazy happening. And I think there is, but let's see. Let's go one by one, 10 games, and here are the odds. Bournemouth against Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth would be my favorites, as they play relatively well recently, and the market agrees. 171 for Bournemouth, 461 for Nottingham Forest. So even though it is a one category difference, officially number 5 against number 6, Bournemouth at home. I like how Bournemouth is performing recently, so this one I will leave as it is. Will not be involved in this one. Arsenal against Liverpool, the big one. So before I look at the odds, again asking myself this question. So I have Liverpool number 1, Arsenal is number 2. But Arsenal is playing at home, so we shouldn't expect anything else but the odds relatively equal for both sides, or slightly lower for Liverpool. I would not take Arsenal as favorites, as significant, strong favorites in this game. So now I'm looking at the odds. And we do have it, 224, 308. So, there can be only one decision here. Arsenal, okay, I know they are playing at home, but I don't think it justifies those odds. Liverpool recently really is a machine. And I mean, it's not that Arsenal is playing poorly or anything, but in the last 5, they lost 2, they drew 1 and won the last 2. They had that convincing win 5-0 against Crystal Palace, and then they beat 2-1 Nottingham Forest. They lost with Fulham, lost with West Ham, and Liverpool top of the league. 1 loss in the league in 22 games, crazy stuff, and defeated Burnley 2-0, Newcastle 4-2, Bournemouth 4-0, and very recently Chelsea 4-1. So that's definitely a yes. And again, depending on the starting lineups, but if there isn't anything crazy there, it's a lay Arsenal for me. Moving on, Brentford, Manchester City. So we can, and I'm debating maybe for a little bit longer on those games in this video, but it's the only league I'll be covering today, so I may as well talk a little bit more about those games. Brentford, Manchester City, again, what can we expect? Yeah, Manchester City, number one for me. Brentford, it's like the fifth or sixth category. Manchester City away, I think we can expect something around 1.5. The market is telling me 1.41. On the exchange, it will be a little bit higher, but that's a fair price, in my opinion. So Brighton, Crystal Palace. Again, I would favor Brighton. Number 4, number 6. Brighton playing at home specifically. So definitely, and again, I'm not looking at the odds yet. I have it on a separate monitor. I'm looking at my spreadsheet. So Brighton, what I would expect is something below even money, really, for Brighton. So what do we have? Yeah, we have 177 and 451, which is a fair price, in my opinion. Burnley against Fulham. So fifth against the seventh. We can compare Wolves against Chelsea a little bit later, as Chelsea had that defeat against Liverpool. I still think they are slightly better than Wolves. Fulham here will be facing a poor team. Let's see the odds. Burnley against Fulham, it's 2.95 and 2.46. And Chelsea against Wolves, 1.6 and 5.45. And, okay, while this one I can kind of understand, even though the price for Fulham seems a little bit good. Fulham 13th in the league table, but I don't really want to invest because they just won one game in last 5, so they are not that reliable. And Burnley, yeah, it's Burnley, relegation zone, 19th. I think these odds can be accepted. Fulham slight favorites, even though they play away, and even though they did not win anything in the last 5. I mean, sorry, they won 1. Yeah, Fulham won 1 at home, and who did they beat? Arsenal. Jesus, 2-1. Okay, but yeah, anyway, I don't think that's worth investing. However, this one, Chelsea against Wolves, we have 10th against 11th in the league table. Yeah, both teams 3 wins in last 5. Chelsea 31 points, Wolves 29. Goal difference: Chelsea +1, Wolves -2, and win, draw, loss. Chelsea is 9-4-9 and Wolves are 8-5-9. So Chelsea has a win and Wolves have a draw instead. And that's a whole difference this season between those teams. And then the market is telling us that Chelsea is 3 times 0.41 better than Wolves. They play at home. So unless Wolves are very poor away, and okay, they are not convincing, to say the least. 13th in the away league table. They drew against Brighton recently, yeah, and defeated Brentford 4-1, but lost to West Ham, lost to Arsenal, and lost to Fulham. Chelsea at home, on the other hand, very convincing streak. 3-2 against Brighton, win. 2-0 against Sheffield United, win. 2-1 against Crystal Palace, win. And 1-0 against Fulham. Wolves, I think, are without their best striker as well. This Lee Sung-hwan, I'm sorry, this Korean gentleman who is the best goal scorer for Wolves. So it's a difficult one, yeah? Chelsea very good at home recently. Wolves struggling a bit without their best striker. They lost with Manchester United, yeah, that last game at home. That yesterday game, very crazy one, 4-3. And yes, I was when Manchester United were 2-0 up, I was thinking about laying them, but I did not. The odds were 1.1, by the way. Anyway, I will leave it for a second. I think it's more a no than a yes, but I will get back to it in the end. Everton, Tottenham. Okay, so we have Everton relegation zone, 18th, and you know they had 10 points deducted. You all know that, but the fact is that they are in the relegation zone, and Everton and Tottenham. 43 points, yeah? Still fighting for that Champions League spot. And the market is telling us that those teams are relatively equal. 2.99 and 2.31. So if you look at Tottenham, and if I told you that the probability of Tottenham beating Everton is only 43%, would you agree? I'm not so sure. Tottenham away, struggling a bit. They lost with Brighton, they lost with Wolves. Everton at home, on the other hand, struggling as well, 18th, so not a very good team. Tottenham faced Brentford at home recently, and you remember the game. Brentford took the lead. Then Tottenham scored 3 goals very quickly, and then Brentford pulled one back. If I look at those two, I'm more inclined, to go with this one rather than this one. But it's not that easy. Yeah. Everton without a win, really, in last 5. However, at home they defeated Chelsea and they defeated Newcastle, but then they lost to Manchester City and drew 0-0 against Aston Villa. Then they have the possibility to stop Tottenham. I don't know. Let's make another blank spot and I'll get back to that. It's not easy. Manchester United, West Ham, 1.65 for Manchester United. And then 5.02, Jesus, for West Ham. And I know that West Ham has some, I think, injury problems. Their last game, they drew 1-1 with Bournemouth. Yeah, it was yesterday. Bournemouth took the lead. Then James Ward-Prowse scored from a penalty. West Ham 6th in the league table. Manchester is 7th, by the way, and West Ham is also 6th if you take into account away games. So they're not that bad. Manchester City 10th. If you look at home games, so that's a no. Okay, that's a no. Chelsea against Wolves at home is a no because of their Wolves' best striker being off. Manchester United West Ham is a yes. I am happy to lay Manchester United, actually. I will double check the starting lineups and check the what's happening there in details for West Ham, but potentially this is a good opportunity. Newcastle against Luton, that will be easy. Yeah, Newcastle 1.4 and Luton 7.61. And the last one And the last one is Sheffield United against Aston Villa. And yeah, 508 for Sheffield United. And then 1.63 for Aston Villa. The market is reluctant to support Aston Villa as they have been struggling recently. They defeated Burnley in last 5, only Burnley, and it was 3-2. And other than that, drew against Sheffield United, lost with Manchester United, drew against Everton 0-0, and lost to Newcastle at home. Really, Aston Villa struggling recently. Sheffield United 2 wins in 11 at home, 163 is I think a good price. For this one, I am okay to back Tottenham if Maddison, Kulusevski, Richarlison, and Johnson are all playing. I think 2.31. So on the exchanges we perhaps we get to 4, but we'll see tomorrow. Then that's I think worth a try. Maybe 2/3 of the regular stake, not 100%, but I think it's a good price for Tottenham. Tottenham will be motivated. Everton will be motivated too, of course. They are fighting for different goals, really. Yeah, Tottenham for Champions League, Everton to get out of the relegation zone. Should be a good game. Backing Tottenham at this price seems to be worth it. Okay, with that, I think that's everything for today. So thanks again for reminding me that I've missed the Premier League games. Hope you liked the video. Hit me up. You sent me a lot of emails recently, a lot of comments I get on Twitter or X. I like them very much, so keep them coming. Definitely have a great weekend. Enjoy the weekend, and if you're trading as me, stay green. Wish you all the best, and we'll be in touch again next week. Thank you very much. Footy Trader, bye bye.